We were in Cuba a few years ago with a group of 15 people. We divided the people in 3 groups. One group in this location, 1 hour from Havana, in a location with no Adventists, to plant a church. One group 3 hours from Havana, a doctor, a bone doctor, to plant a church. And one group 7 hours from Havana, an eye doctor, to plant a church. We prayed about it for about 3 months. We raised the money and we went committed to do evangelism, baptize people and plant a church in a new location. Okay? We started evangelism Thursday night. I had about 20 people come. One of my elders said about 40 people come. One of my elders said about 16 people come. The police came, confiscated their books, took their money and wanted to arrest them and said, if you meet again tomorrow, you go to prison. That elder called me and said, Pastor, we cannot do evangelism here. We are going to come and join you because it's easier there. I said, brother, if you have no challenges, it means that you do nothing good. When you have challenges, it means that you do what is right and Satan hates you. Ellen White says that when you have challenges, instead of running away and being afraid, that's an opportunity to pray and to experience God. I said, get down and pray. We did. I said, how long did you pray? I don't know. It's because you didn't pray. Oh yes, we did. How long did you pray? I don't know. So brother, listen, when you fast 5 minutes, you don't know. When you fast 3 days, you do know. When you pray 5 seconds, you don't know. When you pray a whole night, you do know. If you don't know how long you prayed, it's because you didn't pray. Small prayer, you want big answers. Pray big prayer. Oh, how long do you want me to pray? Until you get an answer. What if I don't get one? Then keep praying. Okay, they started to pray together with the family and the children. They prayed from 7, 8, 9, 10. And he told me next day, after about 2 hours, we started to plead and we said, we are not going to let you go before you help us plant a church. We didn't come here to serve self. We came here with no water and no AC and this and that to plant a church, to serve. And you promised when we go, you'll come with us. So we are not going to move. And he said around 2 a.m. they got peace and they went to sleep. And in the morning, there was like a voice in his head inspiring him to go to the police. So he went to the police. He said, what can I do to continue evangelism? They get out. You are not allowed. You don't have proper papers. You'll get arrested. He says, I'm not going to leave. Arrest me. We can arrest you. Okay, arrest me. But please tell me what can I do. Help me. The police officer closed the door, turned the radio loud so nobody could hear them, went to his ear and said, do you have chocolate? Yeah. I've never seen chocolate. Can you give me 2 chocolates for my 2 kids? Yes. Okay. Do you have a Bible with pictures for my children? Yes. Do you have a real Bible for my wife and for me? Yes. Don't tell anybody. I will lose my freedom. Meet me today in the afternoon around 4 o'clock at that corner. Have them covered in a bag. Put something above. And I tell you what to do. You cannot do evangelism with your papers. You don't have proper papers. But if you don't do it in a public building and you do it in a church, you don't need papers. So go to churches and rent a church and then you don't need papers. He called me, Pastor, I got the answer. And I already gave him a book and we are going to go to churches. There are 7 churches in this city. And he went that Friday to the Baptist, to the Pentecost, to the Methodist, to the Presbyterian, to the Apostolic, to all 7. And to the Catholic and to the and they all said no. So he called me, I thought God led me, but I have trouble. Again, the same song? Don't you know a new song? You told me last night that you have trouble. Pray. I did. And God told me to go to police, and the police told me to go to church. Then go to churches. I did. Go like the woman at the judge. Go 2nd time, go 3rd time until they get tired of you. He went 2nd time to all churches. When he got to the Baptist church, the Baptist pastor says, okay, since you come 2nd time, I'm going to let you in on one condition. Our roof is broken. Fix the roof. I don't have time to fix the roof. Give me the money to fix the roof. How much? $2,500. He talked to his wife. Honey, how much money do we have left over? $2,500. He says, don't we have more? No. What is that money for? Food, lodging for the whole team, and transportation. He calls me, Pastor, all I have is $2,500. I pray that God will give me more money. And he doesn't. I said, God is not going to give you more before you use what you have. I cannot use what I have for God because that's for me. That's for food and for lodging. If I give the money to the Baptist pastor, what do I eat? I said, you don't need to eat. I need to eat. You can fast. Give him the money. Where do I sleep? In the van. Give him the money. Pastor, come on. I said, hey, give him the money. But that requires a lot of faith. I said, yes. But sacrifice, yes. Give him the money. That means to give it all? Yes. They talked, they prayed, called the Baptist pastor and gave him the money for food and lodging and transportation. Then they preached, and that night nothing happened, and they slept in the van and they didn't eat. And then they prayed and they said, Lord, do whatever you want to us. The pastor taught us to fully sacrifice self. We are going to preach until we die. And then he says to his wife, honey, you usually have in your purse everything. If you turn your purse upside down, we can start a store. I mean, in a woman's purse, you find literally anything you wish. Please look, maybe you find some cash so we can eat a little. She opens the purse and she says, honey, you forgot to give the Baptist pastor the envelope with 2,500. I have it in the purse. He called the Baptist pastor, I'm so sorry, I forgot to give you the envelope. The Baptist pastor said, I have it in my hand. You gave me the envelope. He called me, Pastor, you put another envelope by mistake in my wife's purse. I never do this type of mistakes. I am very precise. Oh, the Lord put 2,500. Praise the Lord. I said, praise the Lord. They ate. They went back to the hotel. They slept. Next day, they counted the money, 2,500. He says to his wife, you failed. It was 2,800 because we spent last night 300 and now we have 2,500. You didn't count well. Now they counted together, 2,500. He paid the hotel, he paid the food for the whole team, and then he counted the money, 2,500. They counted again, and they called the whole team. They all counted the money, all of them witnessing 2,500. Next day, they paid the hotel and the food, and they counted the money, 2,500. Tuesday, they counted the money, 2,500. He called me, Pastor, you would not believe, we keep taking from the money and the money don't go down, 2,500. I said, give me that envelope. He said, now you need to pray the way I pray. And you need to sacrifice the way I sacrifice. Aha, you learned the lesson, huh? And I said to him, you would have never experienced God before you surrendered. You would have limited God because of selfishness. God didn't keep you without food, but He wanted you to love Him more. They finished evangelism. When they came to the Baptist church, 16 people that came Thursday night came back, plus the Baptist pastor and his family. Next night, 156 people present. He says, who are these people? The Baptist pastor says, I came last night. I love what you preach. I called my whole church. He called me, Pastor, I know why God took the building and everything. Because these people would have never come. And God wanted me to go to them. And now I know that all things, including trials, work for something good. A bunch of people got baptized. A church was planted. He came back home. And he, with his family, started a new church in Kentucky. And he told me, I've been an Adventist all my life, and my parents and my grandparents, but I've never experienced power. Now in this trip, I learned what power means. And he said, I am not the same. My life has been changed. I thought I was blessing those people, but I got the blessing. And he says, from now on, I cannot stand still. I got to plant another church. He started prayer groups with his co-workers. He started prayer groups with his neighbors. He planted a new church. And God is blessing them. His life and his family and his children. By the way, his children were in mission trip with him. They all experienced transformation. God is calling you to commitment, total commitment.